I think it's interesting when you look on the internet and you see the bigotry on the internet and the people who have been, these conspiracy theories about QAnon and about Jeffrey Epstein. There's a picture of me on the internet, right, where someone has superimposed the face of Jeffrey Epstein over Chris Cuomo and I, like hanging out, and there are people who actually believe it. And people say, well, not all Trump supporters are bigots or racists. Okay, fine, you can believe that. But when I look at all the people who put things like that on the internet, 99 times out of 100, it is a Trump supporter. So people should think about that as they are placing those things on the internet, as they are wearing political messages in the workworkplace as well.
Yeah. Well, talking about that, there's a fake flight manifest that has like 100.
That you're on it.
Yeah, I'm allegedly on it. Obviously, if you want to see who was on that flight, there are court documents, and there's like a handful of people whose names you might know who were ever on any flights of his. Alan Dershowitz, I think, was doing legal work for him. Bill Clinton has said he went to some flights to Africa. But again, this flight list, it's all just, but QAnon, it's trafficking in age-old anti-Semitic, anti-Catholic, anti-immigrant tropes of, there's this cabal of Jewish bankers who are controlling the world monetary system. It's essentially kind of an offshoot of that, saying that this is a cabal of sex traffickers who drink the blood of children and worship Satan. I mean, it's insane.
What do you mean by that?
And the president condones it and promotes it and gives authority to it by promoting it, by retweeting it, and by trafficking in that.
FBI, open
up! So let me get this straight. Now that the Epstein files is a hot topic, all the same political pundits that denied it years ago, Don Lemon, Anderson Cooper, most of the left, are now gung-ho about it because we have a Republican in office, Donald Trump, and they can now use this as an opportunity to smear conservatives, stating that we're the ones who are defending pedos. Again, guys, this was dismissed by the left entirely just years ago. This was in 2020. This was labeled a far-right conspiracy theorist. Remember, it was people like Alex Jones who were the only ones sounding the alarm on this, saying that they have an island where celebrities, entertainers hang out, and they traffic in underage children, and they do all sorts of terrible things to them. This was dismissed completely, and you see how they're smiling, smug. Oh, Anderson, you were on there too, yeah. And you guys treated it as if it was common sense and the reasonable thing to do to dismiss far-right conspiracy theorists. All this tells me is that they're just opportunists. Anything that they can use to smear Trump's name before the midterms, they are on it. They don't care about the fact that it's the Epstein files. They just need to smear the Republican president, Donald Trump's name. That way they can take over when midterms arrive. If you guys continue to follow mainstream media, I don't know what to tell you. These people chose tribal loyalty over truth finding. You're a journalist. Your role is to investigate truth for the benefit of the people. You guys are entrusted with these national platforms where you get paid millions of dollars to expose truth, but instead all you guys do is line your pockets with establishment dollars to be an extension of the propaganda arm. And we know who you are and we know what you are.
Went back onto like Anderson Cooper's show.
Don Lemon.
Or Don Lemon,
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, to me, they're almost the same guy. They love lying and cock. Those are their things. But you're right, they're different.
Remember when Cat Williams had the interview of the year with Shannon Sharpe on his podcast, exposing all the elites and the nonsense that they're involved in? Why is it that we have to have the least likely candidates that are exposing the occultism that you guys are a part of? And we dismiss it as just mere podcast talk.
So 20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information that I understood that things are secular. So I understood that the earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ass ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things. So I knew that both of those things will become popular in the future, and that somehow calling people the goat would be normalized over the sheep being always the most popular reference.
God damn, we got some good weed, Cat. Jesus Christ.
It just must be the weed
I'm trying
talk.
to figure out how to jump in on that.
Right. Which is my only goal.
Again, there you have it, guys. You guys have been listening intently to these liberal figureheads who have just been spewing propaganda for years. And you haven't been questioning it, and you will never know that they're lying to you until you start examining what they've said and done historically. I've already seen since the beginning that Don Lemon, Anderson Cooper, that they will protect power structures. That's what they're there for. These guys have continued to prioritize allegiance to their group than to the truth and exposing it. And we know what they're about. Why is it that we live in a society where the person that tells the most truth is always attacked the most? These guys sit up here and they lie and they're loved. They tell you guys what you want to hear and you love it. You subscribe, you give them money. When you have independent journalists, you ridicule them, and they're the ones who are advocating for what is best for you and your community, your families. The Epstein case, as you guys see, this was not a fringe story. This is probably the largest story in American history, up there of Watergate, if not larger, depending on what more information we find. The most horrific, it's the most demonic. You're trafficking young people, you're trafficking people to an island where you guys torture them, you use them as objects. We had all the flight logs that's been explained for years. We've had politicians like Hillary Clinton that would either obfuscate questioning or hide information, valuable emails, or misdirect investigators in the wrong direction. And you guys thought that they were just bringing decency back to the White House. We are ruled over by a global cabal that worships demonic entities. And you guys will not accept this as truth. The Bible makes it very clear that the Lord of the air is Satan. And he has not stopped. He's using the same blueprint. So again, these are the guys that mock the truth tellers. They smeared their names. They dismiss all their concerns. They protected the establishment. Now here we are years later, and they're all of a sudden the most impassioned individuals in regards to the Epstein files. They're hiding the Epstein files. They don't want to release it. Insanity, guys. I refuse to be duped. You guys may want to be, but not me. With that being said, you guys, we all know who Don Lemon is, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's keep this going, man. Independent journalism. Independent journalism is the only thing that will keep us informed until that day comes. And we know what that day will be. When we have that global censorship campaign that all the liberals will back. Just wait. Just wait. With that being said, remember, Christ is King. Deuces.